If you think Bitcoin is in a bear market, then this video is going to completely change your perspective around. I'm going to show you something which you cannot deny, and it is going to really show you exactly where Bitcoin is right now compared to some of the situations we've seen in the past. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm actually just going to show you the chart from way back throughout Bitcoin's history, right? If I show you this on the logarithmic chart, this is Bitcoin throughout pretty much all of its history, going from the present day to 2010 back here. And I want to, first of all define what does a bear market mean for Bitcoin. A lot of people are saying Bitcoin's in a bear market. Even I use that word for simplicity. But, generally when we talk about a bear market for Bitcoin, we're talking about, Bitcoin setting a huge all-time high, crashing down massively, and staying totally shit for a long time. There's no other way to say it. It's just a terrible, boring crypto winter. For example, from this $20,000 all-time high in 2017 down to the low that Bitcoin managed to set, it took nearly one entire year for Bitcoin to bottom out, and it dropped by minus 84%. Nearly one entire year. Then we actually didn't manage to break the all-time high again anyway for a further 1,100 days, or I'm sorry, for 1,100 days in total, or a further 728 days. This is a bear market. This is what happens when we're in a real crypto bear market. The last time this happened, for example, Bitcoin managed to set this all-time high at $1,000 for the first time ever. It took Bitcoin 400 days, over 1 year, to bottom out and drop by the same minus 85%, or for Bitcoin to reach and pass its previous all-time high, it took 1,200 days. This, again, is what we mean when we talk about bear markets and crypto winters. This is what it really means. There's a few different definitions for bear markets, and this stuff is really important because you're going to see how this is just not the same. This is just not the same on this chart at all, and I'll break down why for you and why I still think we're going to huge, ridiculous, amazing price targets that I know you guys are going to be getting that lotion out for as I get along in this video. Smash up the likes if you find this stuff useful, and of course subscribe if you're new around here, because guys, this is what the channel's all about, right? I mean, I'm going to keep these things realistic. I'm not here to tell you things that you want to hear just so I get more likes and views, right? I could do that, and believe me, I'd be so much fucking richer. I think about it every day, but it's not what this channel is about. Honesty pays off better in the long term. That's what my mother told me. And so here I am, telling you guys what I'm seeing with a more, realistic lens in this market. Because here's the thing is, other definitions of a bear market simply mean the price has fallen by 20%, right? If we look at the S&P 500, this is generally what more conventional traders will consider to be a bear market when we drop by 20%. So for example, we look at this high down to this low, 10%, that's fine. This high down to this low, again, 10%, that's fine. These drops also fine. These are 5%. This drop right here from the high to our current price, 10%, or down to the low, 13%. Still fine. Nobody's saying that this is in a bear market yet for the S&P 500. This drop right here, though, this was a minus 35% drop. Very quick as well. It happened within just over a month. So this is what, the more dictionary definition of a bear market is when a market loses 20%. Obviously, we can't use that rule for Bitcoin, but the reason that I'm pointing this stuff out to you is just to show you that there's a lot of different definitions for bear markets, and for crypto, generally, when we use that term bear market, we're talking about a totally shit range. There's no other way to say it. I mean, I can't be eloquent about this. This range from 20k to where we broke 20k was a bloody grind. It was a struggle, and it was terrible. And that's what bear markets are. Now, the crucial thing to keep in mind, and this is what really separates our current trend and what tells me beyond pretty much any doubt. Obviously, nothing is 100%. I mean, this thing can just tank down to zero. I mean, all it takes is an EMP or something, right? So, it can definitely drop down to zero, and it wouldn't matter at all. But realistically, what is the probability of that? I'm very certain that we're not in a bear market, and that this price action isn't going to last, and we're going to rocket back up to those all-time highs and far beyond, because generally, in fact, no, every time that Bitcoin has entered one of these real bear markets, we had one key thing on this chart that Bitcoin is not showing right now. Undisputable. You cannot deny it. This is the thing I tell you guys with my analysis on the channel, right? When I give you guys this analysis, I'm not picking sides and saying, hey, we're definitely going to go up or anything like that. I'm outlining the probabilities. Real analysis, ladies and gents, smash up the likes for this. Real analysis looks like what I'm giving you guys on this channel. Real analysis is not, hey guys, Bitcoin is at support, so we're definitely going to bounce, and this is resistance. No. Real analysis is balancing probabilities, and then real trading, which you guys see inside of 4Fly's VIP, which is 50% off, bam, on screen right here. Look at this guy right here that joined our yearly offer and paid it off within a day. Trading Matic, learning a bunch of lessons in no rush to make trades. So not only does this person have a killer mindset as a trader very shortly after joining VIP, but also paid off his fee for our top package. Very impressive. Take advantage of this 50% discount. This is the thing is, this is what, real analysis and trading looks like. And this is what I'm putting forward to you guys. And the one key thing that Bitcoin doesn't have right now that it had in the past in every single other bear market is extreme volatility. What does that mean? I'm talking about big emotional swings, right? If we look at this on the linear chart now, which is the normal chart for Bitcoin or any asset, what we see at the end of a market cycle where we start going really bearish is we see huge volatility. Talking about a minus 45% drop in 5 days. Did we get that? Absolutely bloody not. We don't move that quickly. We're not moving that quickly in this downtrend, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. And then we get crazy reaction rallies, right? Up by 50% in 5 days. Again, we're not seeing drops like this. Then down by 27% in 4 days, up by 45% in 7 days, down by 47% in 10 days, and then up by 40% in 5 days, and so on and so forth. We're looking at extreme, crazy emotional swings in these markets. We look at the last bear market Bitcoin had. I can keep on showing you examples of this for days, ladies and gents. It's so obvious. Let's just look at this again. We're on the daily time frame. Bitcoin sets its all-time high and it crashes immediately by 26%. Bitcoin didn't do this in our recent all-time high rallies that we were forming, and I'll show you that again in just a minute. Down by 26% in 2 days, up by 30% in 4 days, down by 48% in 3 days, up by 68% in 3 days, and then look at this, down by 58, huge swings. And in 20 days, it doubles again. If I just put Bitcoin's chart side by side with what we're seeing right now, it's undisputable. You cannot deny what I'm saying right here. Bitcoin sets the all-time high. Look at this. Bitcoin sets the all-time high at $69,000. It's down by 10% in 2 days, up by 6%. Again, in stark contrast to what happened here. The day Bitcoin sets the all-time high, the very next day, within 1 day, it's down by 27%. Bitcoin recently here only drops by 10% in 2 days, rallies up by 5%, 6% in 3 days. The next time Bitcoin rallied up, it took 3 days and Bitcoin went up by 32%. 32% compared to 5%. We saw similar price action in 2018, 2017. The reason I'm showing you this stuff is to point out very, very clearly, beyond any doubt whatsoever, that we did not have this level of crazy volatility in this market right now. And this is important, and I'm going to keep on showing you examples in just a minute, but this stuff that I'm talking about right now is really important for one key reason, and it is that when we're at the real end of a market cycle and we're actually going to be trending in a crypto winter and a bear market for a long time, we're going to get that level of emotional volatility. Because really what this means, right, is when we have these crazy swings that look like this on screen right here, where I mean we're just zipping up and down in crazy, unpredictable, just very, very irrational ways. This is people having their realities shattered. This hasn't happened here. When we're getting this controlled kind of sell-off where it's just persistent selling, this is just people being upset. This is people quitting. This is people losing faith slowly. That's what a sell-off like this means, right? When we're getting these swings, this is utter fucking disbelief. This is people saying, no way, this thing is rallying back up. Oh my God, I'm shitting myself. No way, we're rallying back up again. Oh no, I'm poor again. And then look, maybe there's a chance. And then of course they are poor again. That's what this kind of drop means. This is what you're living through in the moment. I know this because I lived through one of these cycles. In fact, no, multiple cycles like this. So I know what that feels like. This, ladies and gents, is just not that. Point blank, it's just not. We take a look at some of the other price action that Bitcoin had in its now we're back to 2013. I mean, look at these swings, guys. I mean, we're talking about from the all-time high down to the low in 6 days, it's down by 81%. And then within the next 8 days, it's up by 220%. It triples, and then it's down within just over a week by half, and then within about 3 weeks it goes up by 61%. In contrast, Bitcoin takes 16 days, 2.5 weeks to drop down by 22%, and it rallies up by 11%. And then it does have quite a nasty drop right here, but if we measure this to the candle, it's 16%. I'm not counting this wick because it's a little bit of a scam wick, but it does still count. It's 30%, although the real move is only the candle. And then we measure the reaction rally, and it's only taken us up by 15%. We're just like, these reaction rallies Bitcoin triples. Right here, Bitcoin moves up by 60%. What we have right now moves up by a meager 14%. Even what we're in right now, with our current reaction rally, this is an 18% rise in price. I mean, we're just not seeing the same level of extreme volatility. We're just not. Like, there's no denying this. Again, I think 2018 is the best example of this because it's the most recent one, or even 2019 when we formed a very similar pattern right here. This is the 2019 chart. Look at it. It sets the high right here, down by 30% in 8 days. Then it rallies up by 36%. Again, I can't stress this enough, ladies and gents. In the same kind of situation that Bitcoin had, its reaction rallies were so much smaller. This reaction rally goes from 53,000 to 59,000. That's an 11% pump. In this case, we're up by 35%. This takes 2 days, this takes 8 days, and then the whole thing drops down, right? This drop, let's measure this drop from high to low, we're down by 30%. Okay, so this is relatively similar if we count it to the wicks. But then the reaction rally, this reaction rally, we're up by 20%. This reaction rally, we're up by 33%. And then this reaction rally that we have right here, we're up by 14%. Do you see the difference, ladies and gents? This market just hasn't been as emotionally volatile. It just hasn't. Point blank fact. And because of that, that's telling me that this is not a kind of sell-off. That means that people are, just capitulating constantly, or that, the tech is bad and whatever the case may be. Look, a lot of that is happening. A lot of people are capitulating. Not to say the tech is bad. The tech is as good as it ever has been. But, a lot of people are leaving. They're quitting. They're getting very scared. And I completely understand why they're feeling that way right now because the price is dropping so much. But bottom line, we're not seeing those kind of bear market signs that we generally get in actual bear markets. It makes me think that this drop we're in right now is actually probably going to be a lot similar to what we saw earlier in summer last year, where Bitcoin went from $65,000 all the way down to $30,000, potentially, could consolidate now, looking something a little bit like this perhaps, and then manages to rally up. It's what happened before, so honestly, it would be a little bit too predictable, and I don't like the look of that. But bottom line, my point here is that this was a sell-off that didn't have any crazy emotional swings. I mean, to be fair, okay, from the high down to the low, it's down by 30% and then up by 30%, which is still not even nearly as extreme as the volatility that we generally see in actual bear markets. And then it just drops like a stone, another 50%. Again, like, this is just not what normal price action looks like in a bear market. And we know that this is the case because then Bitcoin managed to recover and actually set 2 brand new all-time highs, right? So very, very clearly, this was not the beginning of a bear market. Yes, it was the beginning of a downtrend, and for simplicity, we can use these words bear market just to make communication easier. But in terms of real crypto bear markets, this wasn't it. Bitcoin only traded in this shit range until it started to rally up again for 100 days, right? Previously, we were looking at, 300 days, 400 days. We were looking at much, much longer, worse time periods than this. And that is, again, what I think we could be in right now. We're up to day 80 right now. I'm not saying that by day 100 we're going to reverse, but my God, it would certainly look very, very normal if we did. I mean, put it this way, it would look very obvious if this thing did start shooting back up. That's all I'm saying right now, right? I mean, I'm just, again, like, if you don't like these ideas, I mean, this is fine. You're welcome to disagree with them, and I'd encourage you to, beef out with me in the comments, and we can have a little bit of a debate on it. That would be pretty interesting as well. But bottom line, ladies and gents, bear markets, they don't move like this. I mean, there's been no reaction rallies. There's been no crazy emotional swings. It can happen like that. I mean, it has happened in the past, but look, we're generally going to see a lot more volatility. Bitcoin is an asset that can experience a lot of volatility. It's not like Bitcoin has matured to the point where it's not going to have crazy swings anymore. We know that's not the case. I mean, look at this rally right here, which, from the 30th of September to the end of October, within just about 3 weeks, pumps up by 61%, right? I mean, Bitcoin can definitely have that kind of level of crazy volatility. So I'm not saying that that's the case anymore, that Bitcoin has matured beyond being able to do that, right? So I think that if we were actually going to be in a bear market, it would be a lot more obvious than just a straight sell-off. What this really means to me is that this is just a lot of scared selling. This is a lot of longs getting liquidated. By the way, there's still a lot more longs open. I was actually going to make a video on this instead today, but I figured that this video topic was time for this. This is the Binance data for longs and shorts, the long and short ratio. And if we look at the top trader long short ratio, we're seeing a pretty clear trend right here. There is a long to short ratio of like 1.27 just a couple of days ago, even today of 1.1, basically showing us that there are, roughly, well, I mean, we can look at the numbers right here. There's 52% of accounts going long, positions going long, similar number on accounts, 56% going long right now, compared to 44%, 43% going short. Just generally, we're seeing more positive long-short ratios right now, showing us that a lot of people are still going long on Bitcoin. If you don't know what this means, then don't worry, you don't really need to understand it, but bottom line, that what this is showing us really is just that a lot of people are still opening up bullish positions, and that it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. But you know, when we do start to see longs really piling up, you know, if we take a look at the Bitfinex chart, for example, switch this onto the 1 hour time frame, you're going to see quite clearly that longs are skyrocketing right now. And to be fair, they've been way higher than this before, so it's not to say that you know, I mean, they've been a lot higher than this in the past, right? So it's not to say that this is something absolutely ludicrous, but at the same time, if we measure this from just, you know, about 20 days ago towards the beginning of this month, we've already opened up, according to Bitfinex, a further 2,700, I believe, new long positions. So you know, quite a few more. You know, I mean, it's just showing us that a lot of people are going long, and the problem here is that if we do start seeing this kind of thing happening, you know, we can see temporary corrections where, you know, when too many people go long, you get big drops like this, which basically means that there was a lot of long positions right here, and then down here, you know, the very next minute, basically there weren't so many long positions because the long positions in this range got liquidated, right? So when a long position gets closed, you know, it's going to mean that the number here drops, and right now it's climbing up by quite a lot. So I mean, these are still important things to keep in mind, and this is all about, you know, keeping a well-informed, you know, well-rounded picture of what's going on, so that you can actually make quite informed decisions in this market. And one of the key things that I wanted to do right here is, yeah, just demonstrate to you guys that, again, like, to me, this just looks like a lot of scared price action. It looks like a lot of people unsure of what's actually going on, and that is totally different to being in a bear market, in my opinion. So I wanted to bring this stuff to your attention, and I hope you did find that useful. If you did, you know what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Like I said, VIP is still 50% off, but this is going to end very, very soon. So make sure you follow these steps on screen if you want to take advantage of it. We've had some pretty killer results this month so far, so definitely check it out. And of course, the Bybit promo I was telling you guys about, getting $4,100 for free on Bybit. This offer ends in a couple of days, in actually 2 days from the time of me recording this video. So you have ran out of time. If you want to take advantage of it, there is a link in the description down below. All you got to do to get those free thousands of dollars is sign up and make your first deposit. So definitely check that out if you are interested. And then of course, VIP is open to you as well. Hope you have enjoyed this video. You know what to do. If you have, hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.